Hot Takes or Toast brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen. With 30 years of serving Utah, the Utes have lost 4 in a row. They've dropped to 4-4. They've lost to the worst team left on their schedule. What is left to say? Fritz, see you next year. Robert, turn out the lights.
Party's over.
Dwayne, Witt retires.
Yeah. He retires. I don't think that he should be forced to retire based on this season. And I don't think this season will have an effect on what he wants to do. That'll be a personal decision made at a personal level, separate and apart from the football program and the results in the moment. You all were the one who wanted him to go. You're the same ones who wanted him to go after the 2 5-7 seasons. And that turned out pretty good.
Tracy, we likely won't win another game this year. I really wanted Witt to go out on a high note, but I wonder if he's up for a rebuild. We failed to recruit a quarterback for 2 years straight. The offensive line is nowhere near what it should be.
Well, they did recruit Isaac Wilson, though.
There you go.
And you're expecting him to be all that as a freshman?
John, who wins with an 18-year-old true freshman at quarterback? He is small and running scared.
I would have stayed with him, would you?
Well, given that I haven't seen Rose play, that's hard to answer. Those guys know whether to go with or not. I would say
yes or no.
Pull him because his throws out in the flat were hitting guys in the back of the legs. I mean, he's not the best version of himself, and that's the best version of himself being an 18-year-old true freshman. How good are you going to be? Well, better than that. It looked like what we were seeing in early September. Knowing you were going to get something better than Rose. When Rose came in, I was like, what are we going to get? Because the first thing I thought is what you said earlier. Why didn't he play in the bowl game? I don't feel like we've ever gotten a full explanation.
He wasn't ready.
And the full explanation may be he's not good enough. Well, he's not good enough.
I mean, that was the explanation,
then why
wasn't it?
pull? He wasn't ready. He's
not good enough. He wasn't good enough.
So then why is he on the roster again this year? He'd already been in the program.
Quarterbacks.
He'd already been in the program 2 years, and he's not good enough to play in a meaningless bowl game when the season's basically done.
Those are
It
facts.
seemed like a scrimmage. Put him in. If he's not good enough then, no. Why is he going to be good enough now?
But yet you would have pulled him. You would have pulled Wilson for someone who you would say, if he wasn't good enough then, why is he good enough now?
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense to me.
It really doesn't, but that's because they have no answers at quarterback, so all answers are bad.
Are all answers bad? Really?
On that Saturday. I mean, I realize that's a lot of doom and gloom, but I just don't think there was a right answer right then, which is what you needed right then because that's when you're playing the game.
So pulling Wilson,
he was making bad plays that he hasn't made the last month, and I'm sure he's pressing. Why wouldn't he be?
Right, so let him play through it. Hey, you're a basketball guy. If you miss shots, you take them out? No, you keep shooting.
Well, actually, you do get taken out sometimes. But you're right. If you're
but
left
you
in
go
the
back
game,
in.
if you're you do, and if you're left in the game, you do keep shooting. You try to take different shots, and they tried to give him easier throws, but he was missing those.
Well, keep going. I mean, he's your guy now. Now you've jacked him up even more. He's more jacked up today than he was on Friday.
Possibly.
Well, yeah. I don't think there's any question.
I mean, the losses keep piling up, and the bad throws and the fumble when you got to protect the ball, and the guy just reaches in and pops it out. That wasn't good either.
But the throw to Keithy was good. We know every bad play isn't good. That's a fact. That'll never change.
But there were a lot of bad plays.
Yeah, there were. And a lot of drop passes that he had nothing to do with.
Yeah. And Rose also had the same thing going on. I mean, Rose was throwing the ball out in the flat, and guys were dropping it.
Right.
It was brutal. And that doesn't help quarterbacks who are young and questioning themselves either.
I mean, what's the point of bringing back Wilson if you're going to take him out? I just don't know that I would have taken him out. And it probably doesn't make a difference. I get it. But if he's somebody you believe in, it's just like the whole thing that they've done with the Cam Rising thing. You told Wilson, we've got a kid who can't run, he can't plant, and he can't throw, but he's better than you.
Yeah. So that ought to help.
Yeah. I mean, the psychological game is just burying the kid.
The thing I would say for the quarterbacks is help them out with the run game, and they threw it way more than they ran it.
Oh, yeah, but you got a guy who's auditioning for the job. He needs to win by 9, not by 2.
No.
Yes, he does. He does.
Thanks, Gary.
He does. He's auditioning for the job.
He doesn't need to win by 9. He needs
Well, but
to
that's
win.
the mindset is I've got to have this offense clicking. So he's pressing because he's got 6 games or 5 games, whatever it is, to audition to keep the job. So he doesn't have to move his 5 kids again. What do you expect him to do? To do the same thing that they've been doing? It was all set up for this. It's easy to see in retrospect. I'll be the first to admit it. But he's out there trying to wow his boss. And you're going to run off tackle? Is that going to wow his boss?
Well, if you want to get in the end zone, it worked.
So did the pass to Keithy.
18 carries split between Bernard and Glover is not a lot of carries.
Yeah. I think that's Bajakian's mindset. He's got to try to do something to impress his boss to keep the job.
Yeah. I did wonder when they put in Rose if he saw Rose different than Andy. You know, coaches, we always talk about quarterbacks have their favorite receivers, but coaches have their favorite players too, guys they trust more than other guys.
Yeah, I don't know whose decision it was.
Yeah,
he may have been told, you need to do this.
Could have been.
So now what are they going to do? They got 4 games here. The season's not over. This is a proud program. To go out on an 8-game losing streak, that would be unbelievable. That would be shocking beyond the most shocking thing to the negative we've ever seen in my 30 years being in this market. To have the U of U team, which was ranked as high as whatever they were, bordering on top 10, to be losing 8 in a row. I can't believe it. Right now, I would bet against it. Knowing what I know, I would say no way.
So that means mega upset or win the finale at UCF when you're already guaranteed a losing season, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, it's they're
what's ahead of them.
They're into the meat of the schedule now.
All fact.
Yeah.
I know. But I still, if you told me right now they end the season on an 8-game losing streak, do you say yes or no? I say no.
Never even contemplated it until that clock hit 0 and that field goal went through. Like, are they really going to lose 8 in a row?
Yeah.
Crazy things happen in college football, and you can win a game with 3 turnovers, and their defense keeps them in every game. They don't give up that many
like
points.
16.5 points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would still say no.
And that would be the recipe. They give up 16, get a defensive or special team score, and then
super short field,
and then grind out a 17-14, 2017 win, something like that.
And I think they will.
With 2 undefeateds and 6-2 Colorado on the schedule.
Yeah.
UCF, we're coming for you.
No, we'll see. I mean, that's the last game. I'm not going to write them off on any of these other games. I mean, 2 of the 3 that you just mentioned are at home, and obviously they haven't been world beaters at home. But still, go crazy, Utes. Now the whole world. You want to talk about nobody believes in you? This time, it's accurate.
It's actually true. I mean, watch the last 4 games. The belief and the faith are gone.
Right.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone. Pablo Mastroianni, RSL head coach, coming up at the bottom of the hour. Stay with us.